Doggy long, bad rewards, episode tracks a troll, microtransactions galore. We can't take it anymore. Data crimes, power creep, unbalanced fleet. Every patch a bigger grind. Is this what you had in mind? CG started the fire, but they said it's fine. Well, we're on the run. CG started the fire. It's a Casper game, and they're all the blame, the blame, the blame, the blame. Ahoy, me hearties! Wrong era. I want to let you guys know I have another channel where I've been playing Raid Shadow Legends. Big thanks to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this series that we've done, where as you can see, I have played this game since this past June, and I'm not kidding. I've been having an absolute blast. And if you want to get involved too, there's a link down below, and there's a QR code right up there. And when you get into Raid, check out my clan, the Real Gary Legion. We have some amazing people in here that have been kicking absolute butts. Literally 1/3 of my life I've been playing Hero Collector games. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. I absolutely love the sheer amount of characters that exist in Raid Shadow Legends. So much synergy going on, and it's not a cookie cutter experience like I've had with other games out there. The sheer amount of different mod sets that exist in this game, it's really opened my mind on how to further customize your champions that I hadn't been able to experience in other games of this matter that I played. Just from the pure fun I've had from opening shards to hanging out with my friends playing this game, and I'm hoping you guys can join me on my Raid Shadow Legends adventure as well. And once more, there's a link down below and a QR code up there as well. And for new players that join, we have amazing starting champions such as Rector Drath and Tayrell, which I use heavily, like you can see here with my Rector Drath. Come join me in Gary's mom's basement dungeon, where together we will rule the Raid Shadow Legends hemisphere. Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, all you beautiful Gungans and droids. Let's say things are on fire right now in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I want to talk about primarily, originally I should say, Hu Yang. We did our initial gameplay testing yesterday. Seems to be a lot of fun. Light side Dark Trooper, basically, is the best way to put him. We'll talk about him another time because we have something more impressive to keep on. But if you were wanting to mod Hu Yang really quickly, here are the mod recommendations for Hu Yang. You want to load this guy with tons of offense, critical damage. Literally, it kind of blew my expectations. This guy is the Dark Trooper for the light side of the droid. So really fun character. However, we got more pressing things to talk about right now that, well, let's put it this way. We had our first Galactic challenge with these new changes, and we kind of already knew they were coming like this. But now that you have to psychologically experience it yourself, it is not fun. We have these brand new Galactic challenges. Let's see if we can even find it right now. Load up. Yeah, all right. And yeah, this started the fire. And let me just put it this way. CG, you know, they kept telling us in their community posts, like, oh, you know, don't worry, free-to-play players, you know, you're gonna be able to max out the track. And even though the math is kind of panning out, like I'm gonna show you the math, what it looks like in terms of completing your track, how many points you need, how many free-to-play players to get, how many pay-to-play players to get. We'll talk about all that. You know, we did the math on the actual shipment changes. Like, all right, are you losing? Are you gaining with these new Galactic Challenge shipments? I think the biggest thing of all, even though we're going to be looking at a bunch of numbers, it just doesn't feel good. What doesn't feel good, Donald? This world of Galaxy of Heroes that we live in. This does not feel good. Where people who were able to do their Galactic Challenge before, yeah, there were some days where maybe the all Jawa feats would be annoying, or yeah, you know, they might require, you know, something a little bit newer that most people don't have. But at the end of the day, plain and simple, it just doesn't feel good when there's literally 2 feats that say whale or you fail. Literally, they're taking the whale or fail that we use here to a whole other level. It's not a pleasant psychological experience where everywhere you go now, it's like, oh, you didn't buy the pass, well, you're not getting any points. You didn't get the new character, you're not getting any points, people. It's not a good feeling that they're putting in our minds here. And it gives the impression that you are not. You're like, if you go on Reddit, there are so many posts, people saying, oh, CG's lying. Lion CG over there. They lied. They said we can max out the free track for free, but I'm being hit with all of these feats that require real money. And this is the problem. Honestly, what the hell, CG? Yes, it does feel bad, and yes, it can be fixed. The good news, the removal of the wind battle fees, it gets worse after the A cadence change. even though, yes, they can tell us that in their spreadsheets, internal spreadsheets, that you guys are gonna be fine, the procedural aspect of all this, it's bad, plain and simple. And I actually think you're gonna need more work to break even to where you were before, because before you just did your Galactic Challenge, you get your crate, you called it. Now you have to make sure you grind for the entire month. You can't miss anything. Gosh forbid, we're gonna show how much of a budget you guys have to play this free to play in order to make sure you're maxing this out. You're actually lying to their players. And I was even getting, this is the thing, like, oh gosh, it's so frustrating that they, like, why did they have to do this anyways? Like, Galactic Challenges, it wasn't like the most exciting game mode. It was just there as a way to get, you know, your Omicrons. That's the way I saw it. It was a new daily challenge or semi-daily challenge for Omicrons in Galaxy of Heroes. You know, it wasn't something that I felt like needed to be messed with, but now they messed with it. It's confusing people. And there's all these psychological barrier gates. Like, I had so many comments today. They're like, oh man, am I getting screwed on Omicrons? I have no way of getting Omicrons. Even though we did the spreadsheet thing, they're like, I have no way of getting Omicrons. Well, you have to make sure you're being efficient going into the episode shipment on a weekly basis. And if you miss out on that, then that's going to be a problem. But it's just, this whole system just seems to be way too confusing. And people are, you know, because here's the thing about a game, in my opinion. I've said this many times. A game should try its best to make sure people do not have to go to third-party means to improve their game. You know, of course, it's going to be 100% no. You know, obviously, people are going to go to YouTube, Reddit, and all that stuff. But people shouldn't need to go create their own spreadsheets. People shouldn't need to have to, like, do all this mathematical calculation or even go to a YouTube video, in my opinion. And that's just coming from me. You don't need, people should not be needing to go to YouTube unless they wanted to get, like, additional information, how to get better at something. Okay, fine, whatever. And their personal enjoyment. But this is just, it's just blowing people's minds. It's confusing them. And it's making the experience not a great for folks. And what I want to do with you people while we're here together right now is kind of just really quick show you some of the math behind this episode track. Because so I have a little comparison. Obviously, we're going to do this on my free-to-play account. I'm hoping that, again, the math tells me one thing, but the feelings tell me another thing. And not to say your feelings are irrelevant or, you know, whatever, but there's, you know, the process. It's supposed to be a fun game, right? It's not supposed to be a massive chore. But we're going to be doing a comparison between my main account as well as this one throughout the course of the month. And we might need to just wait a full month to really let the feelings settle in. But I still don't think that nullifies the fact that it's not pleasant when half the GC feats are gated. When you go into the quest alone, basically the character quest is the paywall. It's a paywall quest. So completely ignore this. Basically, if you did not buy any of the character shards, again, kind of sucks, right? Yeah, I can't claim this unless I have 70 shards. Kind of feels bad. So we kind of got to focus on the other thing, mostly with the daily quest and the episode quest. Here, as well as the Galactic Challenges, is where you're going to be able to try to max out this free track for this episode pass. So I want to bring up some math. Big shout out to my guildmate, Quig. They did a great calculation. And we're going to kind of break down several different perspectives when it comes to this. Gary, can you move me over for a quick sec? Just real quick. No one wants to see my ugly face right now, especially with the Gucci goggles and the, you know, we're wearing the Ash Ketchum hat right now. So here's what I want to show you guys. So he did several analyses here. Analyses. We're just going to go with that. Basically, I'm just going to cut straight to it, and you guys can, you know, kind of look at this through your own. But I want to show you at the very bottom. You need 250,000 of these episode track currency things, whatever, if you want to max it out for free. In total, between the Galactic Challenges, completing your daily quest, doing the episode quest, you will get 265,000 points, which will give you enough to max out the free track and get you 3 bonus chests. Well, what are bonus chests, Donald? Well, when you go to the very end, once you max out the track at level 50, you hit this bonus chest, which every 5,000 is episode currency. Boy, I'm like, too many. We have too many currencies in this game. At the end of it all, you'll get, like, every time you fill up this chest, you get an additional 350 to 2,000 of this episode currency. So that's what the bonus chests mean. So again, when you look at the math, and again, we'll kind of break it down through the other perspectives here and what this actually entails. Or actually, let me show this first. Now, here's the discrepancy between the free-to-play and pay-to-play. And listen, we play this game. We know there's going to be a discrepancy for those who spend, for those who doesn't. If you buy the pass, the $20 pass, that is, not talk about the other one here. The total with the pass, you're going to get 349,000 of the currency. So you're going to easily max out the track, and you're going to get 19 bonus chests, 16 more bonus chests in the free-to-play player. We're going to talk about the actual episode currency shipment thing later on in the video here. And then if you're buying, for whales buying the marquees, Then look at this. 433,300 of these points needed for the track. So you're going to full track it. And then you're going to get 36 bonus chests. Wow. But here's the thing. Is that even worth it? We'll talk about that again in a moment. But here's basically your breakdown. When you do your daily quest in a cycle of 28 days, there's a total of 100,000 points there. So, before, I missed probably like 3 login days of my free-to-play account, and it sucked. It's like, I missed out on energy and shipment. But now it's going to feel even worse if you're missing out, because every day, as you see, 1,500 for all stuff completed and 300 per quest, all that fun jazz there. Again, you can see the math. But now if you miss a day, that could harm your progress on the feat thing, the episode track thing, whatever. And then there's the episode quest, which, as you know, or I don't even know. Every couple days, a new thing unlocks. So in about 45 minutes, we're gonna get the next episode thing unlocked, and in a day and a half, we'll get the next one. Another day, another day, another day, another day, another day. So these are gonna be hopefully, done free to play as well. When we look at those, that alone is 88,000. But if you have the pass, then it's 136,000. That's where you double it. And then the character quest, completely ignore this. And you don't need this. And CG said, again, they said this several times, and I remember it myself. They claimed you do not need to spend any money to max out the pass, which is true. How much work is going to be needed? I think you're going to need more work now than before to what you were doing just to break even. I think that's the biggest problem. But the character shards, you can't do anything with it. It's literally going to bother you. You're going to be looking at the stupid screen, and if you didn't spend any money, get wrecked. Wail harder. And again, psychologically, it doesn't feel good. Even though I'm going to repeat, you do not need to spend money on the character to max out the track. And I'm gonna put the tinfoil hat on after we're done explaining this, because I think it feels this way. I don't want to say that's what CG's intentions were, but we'll just wait. And then the Galactic challenges, which again, this is where the fire sparked. The Galactic challenges where people have this psychological wall in front of them that basically says, you didn't spend money. Well, guess what? You're going to be missing out on half of the feats now. And when you're coming from the old system of the Galactic Challenge crates, where you're able to, at least get points for completing, they completely took that out. Like, why would you take something that was psychologically feels good and put a psychologically feels bad thing in here? But this is the problem. People think, and again, it's not people's fault if they feel this way, because it's a game. They shouldn't need to go out and make spreadsheets, do these complicated equations or whatever. They're playing a game for fun. They want that instant satisfaction of enjoying the game, and this is not instantly satisfying, where you need an active episode pass to complete, and you need a marquee. Now, granted, the lower tiers, you should be able to, that one, you're out of luck, but you can at least do tier 1, tier 2 to complete with the new character. So Hu Yang in this situation. But as you go up, you're gonna need a 4-star, 4-star, then it's gonna be 5-star, 5-star, 6-star, 6-star, and then ultimately 7-star Hu Yang. So again, this is where people are mad, because they feel like they need to spend the money on those characters to get the shards. But if you did spend the money, again, you don't need to, but if you did spend the money and you got all that, you should be able to, so for free with Galactic Challenge, let's dial this back, for free, you'll be able to get 76,000 of the points, 76,200 towards that free track of the episode track thing. So many terminologies in this game. If you bought the pass, then you'll have 112,000. So basically almost 50,000 more, right? And then if you're skipping the 7-star marquee feats, 135,000. So here's the thing. You basically, if you're not spending money, you're getting the 76,000 one right here. But all is said and done, I want to repeat this one more time. If you're doing this for free, you're not doing the character stuff, you're doing what you can without the episode pass, you're going to get 265,000 of the points, giving you a 15,000 surplus beyond the 250,000 needed to max out the track. But again, we're making some assumptions. We don't know if things are going to be more complicated. Maybe there's going to be a really rough day in Galactic Challenges. It's kind of tough. Like, what if you don't have a good Rebel fighter team? You see where the problems start coming in at that point? We're making assumptions, assuming that you can do whatever the specified feat is and the faction of the day. And that's going to be kind of a problem for some people out there. So here's the thing. This is just me going like full-blown evil corporate mindset here. Again, I don't think this game mode needed any changes. It feels like all this is unnecessary. It was way more straightforward before. It almost makes you feel that, again, I don't want to say CG saying this is the case, but for me, it feels like they're trying to psychologically manipulate me, where if I was a player before enjoying this game, I feel like I have to buy the pass, or else I can't get these. And it makes me think, again, unless I went to Arnold T101 or maybe went to some other person that's got a spreadsheet showing you all the math, it feels like you're absolutely screwed. It feels like if I'm playing Galactic Challenges, I have to buy the pass. So even though the math is working out, you know, barring some of the assumptions we're making, where what if there's a bad day, there's a horrible feat that's for the faction day where you don't have a full Ugnaught crew or something like that. Well, shame on you. You should have a full Ugnaught crew. And then, you know, you think you're getting screwed over on rewards. You can see how the fire is it's burning out there. And CG, there's got to be a way to fix this. You know, at the very minimum, again, I'm showing the math is there. It looks like you could max this out free to play. I think you will need more work than before, though. It's kind of, they brought the conquest mentality to the rest of the game where you got to defeat an HK-47. Someone's like, oh, I got to find a battle with an HK-47. So it feels like you got to spend maybe more energy, more effort to do what you had before with Galactic Challenges. And Galactic Challenges, more or less, you hit auto, you walk away, you get your rewards, you're done. Now that's not the case anymore. And that's an issue. And then I want to talk about, I guess, lastly here, the episode shipment itself. And, oh gosh. Again, it feels like the shipment's kind of set up where it doesn't feel like you're getting ahead. I think that's another problem. People like to feel like they're getting ahead on something. Like, I got you, CG, on something. I don't really feel like I'm getting ahead here. And again, I don't want to spend too much time going over the spreadsheet math that we did. The long story short, there's a big deficit in character shards, but they're compensating you more, assuming, again, you max out the track, you're going to get way more mod materials right before you even get into the episode shipment here. It basically feels like you got to pick up your Omicrons. If you guys feel like you're losing at Omicrons, you're not. You just have to make sure you're picking them up in the shipments, which resets on a weekly basis. This is going to be a must-have. But after that, it's going to kind of be to each their own, what they want to pick up. You know, I'm probably going to pick up a lot of mod slice material, you know, maybe some, you know, relic stuff as well. It's going to vary per person. But overall, the shipment doesn't make me feel like I'm really getting ahead on anything. You know, if this is a daily shipment that I can reset and I get Omicrons every day, I think people feel like I'm getting one up on CG. I can maybe stockpile a bunch of Omicrons really quickly because no one's getting ahead on Omicrons. You know, and even so, picking up 4 Chirotech a week, it just doesn't feel good mentally. And again, as long as you buy it, you'll be on par to where before. But again, there's a psychological aspect to this that people just, they're not vibing with. And that's an issue. I guess lastly too, talk about the episode pass plus. So we showed you the math, right? On the episode pass. You know, how many points you get if you don't buy, how many points you do buy, and how many points if you bought the extra $20 one on top of it. Again, I can pull up my spreadsheet, show you all the rewards. Yes, technically, and again, it's going to come down to another psychological thing. $19.99. Yes. And again, I want to emphasize, people, you do not need to buy the pass with the assumption you put in mind with the Galactic Challenges. You do not need to buy the pass to max out the track for free. But if you bought the $20, you know, you get the new character, right? The Hu Yang, and you get all these rewards. You get a couple Omicrons. And again, people think you won't get Omicrons unless you buy this. Again, another psychological warfare trick that's being played in us with all the full Chirotech, some of the injectors, you know, laptops, droid brains. It was way beyond the $20 of in-game value. Personal value is a different thing. Do you value that at $20? I don't know. That's going to vary per person. But in-game value, yeah, it's more than $20. But then you have that $20 extra pass. It's just, man, an extra $40. If you upgrade the pass, then you get basically, it looks like you get addition words. I mean, I guess sort of you do because you get to the bonus chest a lot quicker. All this is doing is expediting your progress by 20 steps immediately, saving you some time basically, and instantly giving you all these rewards that we just kind of ran through. But the thing is, I don't really see the benefit of this episode currents. Like, yes, you'll get to the bonus chest a lot faster if you buy the episode pass. But I don't think that it's something to worry about that much because it's not like you're going to be able to just buy like 50,000 Omicrons or 20 bajillion Chirotechs because the shipment only resets once a week. You can't crystal refresh it, and there's a cap, so you can't even hoard your currency. So I don't know. There's so many feels bad thing about this. I mean, I'm trying to think of a positive here. I guess the positive is we're more of a routine calendar. Like we can know when to expect a new character. You know, maybe you could say that the Galactic Challenge UI is better than before. It's just everything feels bad, even though the math seems to be there that you're gonna get your rewards. At the end of the day, I think people's feelings kind of trump what the math shows sometimes, because there's got to be a way to make this feel better rather than opening the game. And if they didn't watch me Go to Reddit for an explanation or whatever the case. Where you see whoever, I don't know, maybe they found like a local Galaxy or shaman in a cave in Tatooine. This is just not a pleasant experience where I was able to do all this stuff before for free. And now I can't even get points for just completing the Galactic challenge. Now I'm saying that I'm going to always be gated for the perpetuity in Galaxy forever, where I can't complete half the feats because I don't have the pass and I don't have the new character of the episode era, whatever the heck, where these things are split up in. So anyway, CG, hopefully you can do something about it, because between the assault battle changes, which we haven't really heard anything about that, and I guess another thing I forgot to mention too, I've been hearing that apparently we're not going to be able to get our squad arena currency anymore. And I guess it's kind of, it sounds stupid, but the reason why I bring that up, if we're not getting any more squad arena currency, that was kind of an important way for people to build up. I mean, let me just pull up my free to play. I've been building so many fleets lately. If I no longer have squad arena currency, you know, for example, getting prestige mats for your capital ships is going to be a lot more complicated, right? So there's a lot of feel bad things. Yes, I'm seeing the math, but even so, at best, it's all questionable. We have to go through a whole month, see how it feels like, but it doesn't feel good already. But yeah, this right here, if I'm not getting any more currency, well, that's gonna really suck. Anyways, people, that's gonna wrap it up for today. Oh man, again, all this just feels largely unnecessary. You know what's the saying? If it's if it's fixed, break it. I think that's the phrasing that we want to use for today. Anyways, people, leave your like, comment down below. Let me know all your beautiful thoughts. And well, you know what? Can we just roll the outro one more time? Just roll it out one more time for them, okay? All right, enjoy it. Enjoy my horrible voice or whatever I did here. I don't know. Just play it.
Buggy long, bad rewards, episode tracks a chore, microtransactions galore. We can't take it anymore. Data crowns, power creep, unbalanced fleet. Every patch a bigger grind. Is this what you had in mind? CG started the fire, but they said it's fine while we're on the run. CG started the fire. It's a cash for game, and they're all the blame, the blame, the blame, the blame.